Hi everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. It's Sunday the 26th of May. I'm just doing an introduction to my video for the day. It's a moving day today, not for me but for plants. During the week, a couple of hours after work, I've managed to finish getting this whole area barked, and I've got some paving stones down. It's looking quite nice. Now this is going to be my new plant nursery area. I've managed to get some trellising up fitted to the fence as well in the evenings, which means today I'm planning to put in my 2 chocolate vines. That's the Akebia quinata. I'm going to put 2 side by side. The reason I've got 2 is if you want any chance of fruits, you have to have 2 really ideally separate genetic strains. So one of these came from a nursery in Germany and one from a nursery in the UK, so hopefully being that far apart they will be separate genetic strains, so might have a chance of fruits in the future which are edible, but even if you don't eat them they're very attractive. But I'm very happy with the barked area at the moment, and obviously the plan today, time permitting, is to move virtually all of these trees that are on my decked area over to the barked area. The only exception is I won't be moving the pomegranate because it's very large and it's probably likely to be blown over by the wind, so I'm going to leave that strapped to the deck. And this little storage box, in the absence of a garden shed, that's obviously where I keep all my tools and various gardening implements and lawnmower and stuff like that. That is going to be moved from there once I've levelled these a little bit better. It's going to be sitting there, and if I can get the decked area cleared today, which obviously I'm hopeful I should be able to do, I will be starting to scrub the deck, get that properly cleaned, treat it with decking oil depending on how the day goes, and then I'm going to move some of my exotic tropical fruits out of the kitchen onto the decked area once it's been oiled. Some of them need repotting, and I will obviously give them. I've just noticed first flower bud coming up on my Agepanthus. So that warm weather we've had for the last 2 or 3 days is getting things to grow very quickly. But obviously, if time permits, I will do an update later today to see how the plant move has gone. So welcome back. This is the second part of the video that I started this morning. Everything's gone reasonably to plan today, despite the occasional spots of rain. So the storage box has now been moved to the stone slabs. It's all gone quite nicely, and I've successfully managed to move all of my fruiting trees over to the barked area. No breakages or damages, all gone very smoothly. You might notice that there are every single pot standing on trays with gravel in the bottom. Well, the reason I've done this, obviously I could have stood all the pots straight onto the bark, but I thought that if I put them on the bark, then there might be more likelihood of undesirable insects or diseases getting from the bark into the pots, particularly ant infestations, because I do seem to get a lot of ant nests here, and it's a bit of a nuisance when they get into the pots and tunnel their way through the soil. So I'm kind of hoping that by putting them on trays that I might cut down on things like slugs and of course the ants. Now I've stood them on gravel so that when I water them, or if it rains heavily, instead of the pot standing in 1 inch or 2 of water, they actually won't be standing in sitting water at all. So if we get heavy rain for a long period of time, they shouldn't get too waterlogged. And I'm also thinking that with the gravel underneath them, it will increase the humidity from the pots. I won't do a tour of the trees right now, but said everything's gone to plan. I've managed to get the 2 akebias, that's the chocolate vines. They've both been successfully planted as well. I've also thought it needed a bit of colour in the back garden, so I've successfully managed to put some plant up some troughs as well today. I've got geraniums in, various lavenders, because I do like to attract as many bees and butterflies as possible. Got some petunias in the corners and some lobelias as well, and I've potted up my gladioli because there's some, looks like they've got a couple of flower stems coming on them, and they were very restricted in the pots they were in, so I've potted up the gladioli as well. So basically we've got figs there, small pomegranate, various persimmons, there are pawpaw there. I've got at least, there's 2 Asian pears, they're both American and Asian persimmons among the mix there. There's also 4 jujubes, so and the 2 mulberries at the end, and surprisingly, although they were only planted this spring, there are very small mulberries developing. Don't know how far we'll get. I've also had an opportunity to plant up my some cucumbers, 2 cucumbers and a courgette today, and I thought I'd get them all done in one go. I'm putting them in grow bags this year, so I've got there's 2 peppers, a yellow and a red one. There's 5 tomato plants of different varieties. There's beefsteak, I think Alicante, a large plum one which is a heritage one, and some cherry ones which are plum shaped. And I've also got 1 aubergine or eggplant to try, and as you can see I've cut the bottoms out of large plastic pots and put those and cut holes in the tops of the grow bags, because I figured it would be easier to maintain the plants and keep the slugs off them possibly, plus it gives a lot greater depth of soil, so they'll get better root systems on them, which hopefully means more fruit, and it also means a greater depth of soil to put the canes in, so they're a lot more rigid, and it's going to be easier, I hope, to water them, because I'll be able to water them through the pots. Finally, that's my alocasia, elephant's ears. That was outside all winter with some minor protection on it, so that's done very well. I'm not going to do a tour of the rest of the garden, that will come for another day, but I'm very pleased with my display over there, and that now means, although obviously I've run out of time today, I now have a fairly empty decking area, which of course I'm going to fill up with some tropical fruits. Obviously the only one that's going to stay is the pomegranate, because that's too big to stand on its own, but hopefully tomorrow, if the weather's okay, it's a bank holiday here, I will be able to get some scrubbing done of the deck and then oil that and make it look more presentable. So I'm very, very happy with my my tree display area, a mini food forest if you like. Thank you for watching. It's Lionheart out for now. Again, if you wish to please like, subscribe, share, and if you want further notifications, then by all means hit the bell. Thank you for watching.